This is the tutorial for Concept 15, Skill 13, and it's on lines, planes in space. And so we've got three different concepts we're taking a look at here when we're talking about a line and a plane in space. And so for instance, we've got, if a line is in a plane, we have these two situations here. Again, this line is inside this plane. We've got a line intersects a plane, something that can happen, or a line can be parallel to a plane. So basically this plane is going out and the line is either above or the line could also be below. So those are the three different relationships we're going to see with a line and a plane. So either parallel, intersecting, or a line is parallel to the plane but not on the plane itself. And then we have three possible relationships if we're dealing with two lines in space. So we can have lines, and these two lines, L and M, are parallel. They're in the same plane. Notice that they're in the same plane and they're parallel. And then we can also have lines like A and B here in the same plane again, same plane, and they're intersecting. But this situation, we have line J and K is a little above this plane. So they are not in the same plane, and they will never meet, and those are called skew lines. So let's take a look at an example here. So what we want to be able to do is name the relationship between these two lines. So if we're dealing with two lines, our answer is either going to be parallel, intersecting, or skew. And so let's take a look at what we got. So AX is here, A to X, and CZ, so CZ. We're talking about this line and this line. And so we see that these two lines are on the same plane that contains ACZX. And since they don't meet, but they're in the same plane, we say that they're parallel. So these two end up being parallel. And then let's take a look at AX to AC. So AX to AC, and notice they share a common point here at A. And so they are also in the same plane as well. They're in that same ACZX plane. And so those lines are intersecting. They intersect at that point A. And then we have AB and CZ. So AB is here. CZ is going this way. So notice CZ is never going to touch line AB because AB is going in a different direction, and this one's kind of to the right of this kind of horizontal line. If you kind of looked at this on end here, we would see, or at least looked in line with this triangle, this would be a horizontal line, this would be our vertical line, and they just won't touch. And so since they're not in the same plane, they never touch, we call them skew lines. So let's take a look at some other examples here. And we've got another figure, and they're asking us, is HG and the plane, is HG, line HG, and the plane containing PRS? So we got to find the relation between those. So let's find HG. Here's HG right here, and PR, or PQ, so PQ right here, RS, so RS. So they're talking about the top of this box, and HG. So our possibilities were that the line was parallel to a plane, or it intersects a plane, or the line is parallel to the plane, or the line is in the plane. So those are our different options. So line in the plane, intersects the plane, or is parallel to the plane. So let's go back to the problem here. And so notice that HG is below this plane. So it's not in the plane. It's not intersecting it either. It's not going to go straight up and intersect it. It's in line with the plane, but parallel. So we would say parallel to plane. So I'm going to say HG is parallel to plane, and we'll name the plane with those four letters, PQRS. So let's take a look at the next one. It says PQ. So PQ is this way right here. And PS, HE. So notice how PQ is going right through this point of PSHE. And this plane PSHE extends forever to kind of the left and to the right, up and down. So point PQ is kind of like this situation back here, where it's going to intersect that plane. So that's what we'll end up saying there. So we'll say PQ intersects plane and PSHE. So now QF. So QF is this way, straight up and down, QF, and then RG. Here's RG. And notice how they're talking about just two lines. And so our answers are either going to be that they intersect, they are parallel, or they're skew. And so notice that PF, or QF, and RS, or RG are on the same plane over here. They're in one plane, and they're parallel to one another. So we will just say that they are parallel. And if we look at PS, so here's P to S right here, this line, and we had RG, so RG once more. So notice PS is coming out this way, but RG is behind it. PS is horizontal, RG is vertical, and since they're not sloped, they're just going horizontal and vertical, and they're not in the same plane, then we're going to say that they are skew. So they're not in the same plane, and they are not, one's going horizontal and one's going vertical, so they're not going to end up touching each other. So they are skew. RS right here, and SH. So notice they intersect at that point right there at S. So we'll just say these intersect. So RS and SH are in the same plane. They're in this plane here on the side, SRGH, and they will intersect at point S. So those are the types of problems that you'll see on Concept 15, Skill 13.